call for independence in Catalonia has much of Europe anxiously watching. Alberto Avendano is an award-winning journalist and the Washington bureau chief for the National Association of Hispanic Publications. He's joining us now. Welcome to our broadcast.
Pleasure to be here.
We are seeing this mass demonstration in the streets, approximately 450,000 people. What do you think of this, and what kind of repercussions is this going to have across Europe?
Well, let's start saying the obvious thing. Yes, this is the worst constitutional crisis since the restoration of democracy in 1877. Now, key word here, constitution is in place. Another key word, democracy. Spain enjoys one of the most comprehensive, inclusive, and one of the best democracies in the world right now. And what we are witnessing is a challenge to that democratic system. It's a challenge to a constitutional system.
So explain to us what Rajoy means when he says, I'm going to strip your independence, but I'm not taking away your autonomy.
Well, he didn't say that. What is going on right now is that, well, both sides were buying time, which is okay when you have a huge crisis. So the president of Catalonia, and we've been there in 1934, by the way, October 1934, where a president of Catalonia gets upset with Madrid, and he unilaterally declares independence. At that time, he gets in jail. At this time, he places the concept of independence in limbo. So the alternative for the government, the constitutional alternative, is applying the Article 155. And that means that you are going to get not stripped of the autonomy. The autonomy is in place. Leadership is out.
So now it's in the hands of the Senate. What is likely to happen? And will these mass demonstrations sway these parties anyway?
But okay, it will be Friday. They will decide because the majority is the ruling party in the Senate, and the 155 will be in place, and a process will be open in order to call for elections where the current leadership, the so-called rebels, won't be allowed to run for political positions. We are at interesting times because we are testing an interesting democracy. This is interesting in terms of Europe, in terms of the democratic world, watching what is going to be the outcome and how is it going to be possible that within the law things get solved and without hijacking Spanish democracy. When you talk about all these numbers of people in the streets, I would tell you something. The majority of Catalans don't want independence, and it's not a 50-50. It is clear.
Barcelona's mayor is calling this attack on everyone's rights and freedoms. That's in Barcelona, right there. What kind of impact is that?
It's very dramatic. It's very emotional. Society is fractured because a minority ideological group has decided to unilaterally try to implement something that is unconstitutional. I understand all the emotion involved, but it's nothing that is not within the realms of the law.
Why are the EU leaders showing their support for Madrid at this point?
The EU is an organization that feels that Spain as a whole is a strong democracy, and they understand not only that this kind of turmoil, let's call it turmoil, mess is a little strong, can happen in their own countries. But the reality is a little bit a fabricated crisis in terms of ideological terms. We are not talking here a whole country trying to rebel against the other. We are talking here Catalonia, which is completely inside Spain, traditionally, politically, and culturally, and trying to figure out what some analysts have called a low-cost independence. Well, excuse me, that doesn't exist.
All righty. Alberto Avendano, thank you so much. We certainly appreciate your time.
Pleasure.